welcome back to the bench. Today we have a teardown. This is a hot air reflow station. If you can pronounce that name, you're a better person than me. The model number is a 959D. This is a basic digital unit. It's got 3 presets, up and down, and obviously your airflow control and power switch. The actual fan is built into the wand. Not sure if that's the correct name for it, but that's what I'm calling it. And it comes with a selection of nozzles. So 2 circular and 1 square. You can buy additional ones with different shapes, and it has a kind of a flower pattern in there, which is supposed to help make the air swirl better, so that you get a more consistent heat. The unit itself is fairly well constructed. It's mostly metal, with the exception of the bumpers here and here, and the holder here, which are plastic. The holder can go on both sides, depending on which side you want to use it on. I'm undecided at the moment, but I suspect I'm probably going to put it onto the opposite side here because, yeah, I'll probably have it over there next to my soldering station and my desoldering pump. So yeah, there's just 2 holes there to put that on. So first things first, let's just take off this holder. The screw doesn't seem to be coming out. It seems to be, I don't know whether the thread is stripped. It seems to, no. Okay, maybe we have to get inside and maybe push it out from the other side. Bit of pressure. Yeah, I heard something drop on the inside, so maybe there is a nut or something on the back that it should screw into. Yeah, the screw thread looks like it's been stripped. It's not as clean as the others. Yeah, and now there is something rattling around inside. Okay, so there are screws on the side and on the front. So I'm guessing, yeah, we'll have to take all of those out to get into it. Okay, so that's the front panel. Okay, well there isn't much point in taking it much further apart than that, because the only thing that's inside there, if you can see it, is the transformer. And this is what came off. So there was a nut, a single nut on the inside. So I suspect what happened is that they couldn't tighten it up, so they decided to put a nut on it just to hold it. Okay, so let's have a look at the construction. Okay, so this is, look at the label on that transformer. It says power transformer. Okay, yeah, 240 volts. But, yeah. So everything is on this board. The display here is a little bit, how are you doing? It's a little bit wonky, if you can see that. Obviously they've tried to solder it on and move it forward so that it's closer to the piece of red plastic here that is just kind of some kind of glue on there. Okay, and if you look at the soldering, it's a bit how are you doing? There is some very serious blobs there. Okay. It looks like we'll take a close look. No, it looked like it was cracked, one of the solder joints, but yeah, if you can see here, the soldering is rather how you're doing, so maybe we should give that a bit of a clean up. Remove some of that solder. The chip, the brains of the operation, is going to be some kind of microcontroller, but I don't recognize it. It's S3F94C8EZZ-DK98. No idea. Okay, so we've got the power coming in to the switch, which is, yeah, hot snotted in. Everything's covered. And then we have the mains coming into the board. And here is the wiring going out to our iron, which is also hot snotted in. They're just basically tag switches. Reasonably well implemented, and yeah, this is just a variable pot. It's not an encoder, it's just a standard pot. The power ICs, BTA16, so that's going to be a diode, I think. Yep, and this is a TIP122, which is a Darlington power transistor. So they're probably using that to control the switching on of the heating element. There's an optocoupler by the looks of it there. This is probably the temperature sensor feedback wire, one of these. This is the power for the board coming from the transformer. There is a CN7 which is not populated here, so I'm not sure what that's for. Okay, diode bridges. There is a little package there, a little 8-pin, which, if I look, is probably going to be, would it be a little memory chip to store the settings? I can get that at the right angle. No, it's an LM358. So that's an op amp. So that's what they're using, probably for the temperature sensor. So let's take a look at the construction of the wand. See if we can get this apart. There's just 2 screws here. I think the front also unscrews the plastic shroud. Slightly bigger screw. This unscrews, so that'll hold the front half of the shell together. Yeah, and there we go. So as expected, we just have our heating element, which is actually listed as replaceable inside in the, if you can call it a user manual. Okay, and I'm guessing this is part of our temperature sensor, or is that some kind of thermal? No, I think that's some kind of thermal fuse. Maybe in case the unit overheats, it cuts the power off. There is a little circuit board down here, and all the connections are labelled, which is good. It's just a little board to take the wires from the cable and then onto here. So You can see we have hot, 2 hots, so that's going to be the power to the unit. Then we've got E ground, we've got fan plus and minus, sensor, ground, and handle. Now the handle is what's going to here, so this is going to be some kind of fail-safe in case this unit overheats and it starts melting, which is rather nice. No point taking this board out, it's literally just going to be just a little PCB. So it is quite serviceable. Obviously if this fails, you can probably replace it with a new one. It's just got a little bit of gunk in there to hold it. It's very rubbery, so it's not hot snot, it's some kind of maybe silicon based gel. But yeah, that's quite nice. Little fan motor here, it's quite cute. It's a squirrel cage and it's got this little rubber bumper on there to help direct the hot air. Okay, that has a little bit of gunk on there. That's probably just to hold it in place. Like this side, yeah. So yeah, there's a hole here and then there's a matching peg on either side to hold it in and stop it from turning. Let's see if it'll go back together. I mean, it's just literally that just blows the air. And then, yeah, it just goes straight through that element. So it's good to know that if the element does go in this, you can replace it easily. Where you get the replacements from, I do not know. Alright, yep, so that went back together quite easily. Put the shroud back on. And yeah, it's got written hot on there as if you needed to be reminded. And it doesn't seem to want to screw back on. That's because I'm putting it on the wrong way. It would help if you put it on the right way. Okay, let's just pop these screws back in. What I'm going to warm up my soldering iron, because what I want to do is just, yeah, touch up those connections there so that, yeah, this thing has a little bit more longevity, because, yeah, if one of those solder dags breaks off at some point and shorts something out, it'll be bye-bye rework station. So yeah, let's bring in the soldering iron. A little bit of sponge wetting action. Those are into that kind of thing. I know Dave Jones over at the EV blog loves his wetting of his soldering sponge. Okay, should be coming into temperature in a second. And what I want to do is I just want to, yeah, obviously get rid of these solder dags there. Not sure how well that shows up on the camera. But yeah, these have got way too much solder on, and this pin here has got barely any solder on. So, but on the other side, it's got way too much solder on. So yeah, we'll get the old solder sucker out and we'll remove those, and then we'll get it cleaned up. No point using the desoldering station because yeah, it's only a few pins. Okay, so that looks a million times better. Good. Solder wetting on those, not like before where it was all over the place. So let's put her back together and see if she chooches. Right, I just want to change this handle over to the other side, but I have to change this metal bracket as well. That means removing the 4 screws. On the underside it does have these rubberized feet, which I suppose is good. It'll stop it from sliding around. And then yeah, it's got the mounts for the transformer. Strangely, one of them has a anti-vibration washer on and the other one doesn't, so I'm guessing they forgot to put that one on at the factory. Okay, and if you can see it down here, there is actually magnets which will actually turn this off once you put it in. So that thing selasted to the side, which I thought was maybe a thermal cutout, probably isn't. It's probably a reed switch. So that when you put it in the holder, it turns the damn thing off. Rather clever. Okay, let's fit it onto the other side. Hopefully that's screw that's got the thread strips will actually hold better on this side, because it's probably the hole will shut as well, so we'll see in a second. I just find it's cute that they put a nut on the back to try and fix the problem. So that one's going in nice and easy. Yep. And this is the one that was stripped. I can feel that there's more resistance on it. Obviously the thread was damaged, but yeah, that goes in there nicely. And then our wand stands there. Now it's time to put it in its place. Yeah, the cable still reaches over to here, so we'll switch her on. Okay, when you first switch it on, you will get the 3 dashes there. As soon as you pick the wand up, it should start up and start heating. So at the moment I've got it set to 350. And yeah. So at the moment, you might notice on camera that there's some flickering on the display. You can actually see that on the 0 itself. So it's not too noisy. Well, yeah, nice and warm. Okay, and so you have the presets here, so we can have that set to 250. Okay, and I think that one, yeah, it's set to 100. You can change the presets. I think you press and hold it for a couple of seconds and then set your temperature, and then it's working its way down. So we'll press that and press and hold. It's flashing, and then we can set it down to 300. Nope, that didn't work. It's still set to 350. Maybe you have to wait for it to stop flashing. Yeah. So when it's flashing, you can adjust the temperature. And when it stops flashing, then it's locked in. I'll press that 250, 300. And when you put the wand in the holder, you'll see that the temperature is going down. That's because the fan's still blowing, because obviously it needs to cool down before it switches the fan off, otherwise it'll melt itself. But as soon as that gets down to 100, it'll cut off. $124, 120, it's getting there. So yeah. And then, boom, she's off. And then of course, as soon as we pick it up, it'll start up again. Okay, so I'm going to try and pronounce this name. It is spelt Y-I-H-U-A, so Yihua, maybe. Obviously made in China. Let's just bring the box in here. So yeah, hot air rework station. And it's got here, it said it's good for SOIC, QFP, chip, PLCC, and BGA. Although I wouldn't like to fancy trying to solder PGA chips. Okay, and here, yeah, it's got the manufacturer's information, but importer is RBU International Limited, which is based in Trafford Park, Manchester, England. I used to live near Manchester for many years. Okay, and yeah, this does different models. So this is the 959D. D just means digital. So it's not the top of the range model. It looks like the 2009 D might be the highest model. So yeah, multi-use box, and it says it's ESD safe, which I presume would mean then that the it's tied into earth, mains earth. So if you like this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then give me a thumbs down. Please hit that subscribe button, and if you like my content, and if you want to get notified of future uploads, you can always ring my bell. Thank you for watching.